Hello there. How do I add a basic page to my Drupal site? Well, let me show you how. I'm going to go ahead and start by clicking on the Add Content button here, and this brings me to an overlay page where we have the option of adding either an article or a basic page. Let me actually show you a different way of getting to there, okay? Because the nice thing about Drupal, there's a lot of redundancy built into Drupal where you can do things a whole bunch of different ways. You could also click on the Content button right up here, and your Content button gives you a list of all the content that's currently published on your website. And right now, we don't have any content published because we just set this site up and we haven't done anything. But if we wanted to add content, we could click, see right here where it says add content. And this brings us to, hey, that looks familiar, right? Yeah, it's the same page that I got to by just clicking this add content button right here. In essence, this add content button is just a shortcut to get to this overlay right here. So we want to add a basic page to our Drupal site. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to click on basic page. And what we get here is we get an overlay, and this is just a form to fill out. And you start to understand how Drupal makes things really simple for you. I mean, there's a lot we can do to alter the look of the site, but for just adding content, it's super, super simple. Drupal asks us a few questions. It says, first of all, what's the title of your page? So let's think about what type of a basic page we want to add to our site. I'm going to start with something really, really simple like about us. Oops, how about we spell it? About us. There we go. This is just going to be an about us page. Really, really simple, okay? We're going to add some stuff in here about us, okay? The body is just the actual content of your page, so the main text. And here I'm going to introduce you to a really neat tool that I use whenever I'm doing these screencasts or whenever I'm just building a site and I'm just trying to get things structured well, but I don't have a lot of content yet. I use what's called a lorem ipsum generator. Lorem ipsum is like fake Latin. It's not real Latin, it's just fake Latin, and it just adds gibberish words to your site to kind of just put words on your site so that you can kind of get a sense of what your site will look like once you add words to it. That's all there is to it. There's lots of different lorem ipsum generators out there. There's websites, there's tools. Because I'm in Chrome right now, I'm using the yet another lorem ipsum generator extension, and I'll show you how it works. It's really, really simple. There's tons of others. If you use a different web browser, you can find another extension or tool or plugin or whatever to make that work for you. So that's what that is. Let me show you how it works. Right here, if I click on the yet another lorem ipsum generator button right here, I can actually select, let's say this represents like number of paragraphs and this represents number of sentences per paragraph. So let's make it say, oh, I don't know, 3 paragraphs with 4 sentences each. And these are just randomly generated. So there we go. See, it just popped that in. It's fake Latin. It doesn't mean anything, but it just automatically popped in a bunch of gibberish text for me and I didn't have to type anything, and that's cool. Text format, we're going to leave it as filtered HTML right now. There are other choices here, but we're going to leave that for now, and I'm going to explain in a future screencast what that means and why you might want to change it. And there's a bunch of options right here, but for the time being, I'm going to ignore those. I'm just going to go ahead and click Save. We could preview it if we want to, but that's fine. Let's just skip ahead and just click Save. So there we go. It's what you gotta wait. Here it is. Okay, good. And remember I told you that Drupal's really good at giving you feedback about what's happened, and it's telling you, hey, the basic page about us has been created, and here it is. And so we see a few things. We see that, okay, we've got this sidebar happening right here. I don't know whether we want this here or not, but that's fine. And don't worry, by the way, don't worry about the look of this. Don't worry about the font. Don't worry about any of that. All that stuff changes. We can change all of that later, but it's, you need to think about the content first, because content is king, remember. And so, okay, there's the title, About Us. Here's the content I randomly generated. Okay, that shows up nicely. We'll see that there's a view button. There's also an edit button. What does that do? Hey, that brings us right back to the same page where we initially created the site. And this is where, let's say we realize, oh, I actually wanted to add an extra sentence inside here. I'm just going to add, where's my lorem ipsum generator? There we go. I just want to add one sentence right there. Okay, good. I'll go ahead and click Save. And there we go. It updated it for me, and Drupal's giving me that nice feedback saying that, okay, so we've just added our first piece of content. Okay, how cool is that? Let's go to the content button right here. and we'll see, sure enough, in our list of content, we see there's one piece of content right here, and there's some basic information, gives us the title. We gave that title, we choose that. The type of content it is, which is basic page, we chose the basic page content type. The author, that's me, RoboBunny Attack, whoever wrote this, okay? The status, this has been published, okay? You might have just saved it maybe as a draft, possibly, but in this case, we actually published it. The date, it was last updated, and then if you wanted to delete it, say, oh, no, I don't want that, or if you just wanted to edit it, you could just go ahead and click the edit button, and that brings you right back to this edit basic page window, this dialog box right here. And then if we wanted to go and view it, we could click on view and it brings us right back. See how, remember I mentioned lots of different ways. There's a lot of different ways of doing the same thing in Drupal, and that redundancy is there just to try to make things a little bit easier for you. And so we've just created our first page. And so I'm going to go back to the front page, and I'm going to click on the home button right here. And something interesting is happening here. Where's my page? Oh my gosh, it's not anywhere. Where did my page go? Well, it is on your site, but you currently don't have any navigation to go to this page. Okay, so, and that's fine. We're going to change that. We're going to fix that. I'm going to show you in a different screencast how we go about setting up the navigation for our site and how we go about, making sure that our pages are searchable and all that stuff. But for the time being, if you've created some content and you're like, where the heck did that go? Just go to the content button up here. And then there you're like, oh, phew, there it is right there. We can go ahead and click on that. There's your page. It's there. It exists on your site. It just isn't really accessible yet to the big wide world yet, and we're going to fix that, okay? But there you go, have it. You know how to create basic pages. I'm sure you can think of a ton of different basic pages you'd want to create. Maybe you want to have a contact us page. Maybe you want to have a biography. Maybe you want to have, about us, maybe a list of your staff, or maybe a list of your, depending on what type of a band, what type of a website you're building. I'm sure you've got lots of different static pages. And you know what? You can go ahead and create. If you've got the content, you can just go ahead and cut and paste that content on there and pop it in there. And we can decide later how we're going to structure things. Okay? So there you have it. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.